This is me, Craig Ferguson. I'm inviting you to come and see my brand new comedy hour. Well, it's about an hour and a half, and I don't have an opener because these guys cost money. But what I'm saying is I'll be on stage for a while. Anyway, come and see me live on the Pants on Fire tour in your region. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll be adding more as the tour continues throughout 2025 and beyond. For a full list of dates, go to thecraigfergusonshow.com. See you on the road, my dears. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Joy Podcast. My name is Craig Ferguson. I am the host of the Joy Podcast today. This is episode 122, the lucky 122nd episode, where we will be enjoying life at home here in the United States of America. That's where I am right now. And it's not necessarily your home, but I imagine for most of you it is. Now, let me just begin by saying this to you. There was a very controversial episode last week for two reasons. One, I said that I was unsure of the connection between bagpipe music and rock and roll. That I felt like it was not necessarily a good match, although I was in favour of bagpipes and I am in favour of bagpipes. But I felt like, people were there was an outpouring of rage, is what I'm going to say. People were aghast at my illiteracy when it came to AC/DC's A Long Way to the Top, which of course I'd forgotten about when I was talking about, which of course is great. It's a perfect blend. And then everyone is recommending Ali the Piper, who does, if you haven't seen Ali the Piper, that's also a great source of rock and bagpipes. It's on the internet, Google alithepiper.com or something. So look, sorry about that, everybody. I see it to have touched a nerve. There's a lot of bagpipe love out there, and I'm okay with that. I'm here for it. I enjoy it. Also, the controversy of last week. By the way, let me just interrupt my controversial leanings to say this. If you hear some noise in the background today, and it's entirely possible, what you'll hear is, in another room nearby, my lady wife is watching a show called Emily in Paris. Now, I've never seen a single frame, which is an old way of saying I've never seen anything of Emily in Paris. Frame is the way they used to make films and stuff. I don't imagine they do that in Emily in Paris. Anyway, I've never seen Emily in Paris, but I instinctively know. Now, this is something I try not to do because it can be classed as contempt prior to investigation. But I instinctively know I will hate that show. And so I am not going to watch it. Now, let me just say this. It's not to say that it's a bad show, although I suspect that it is. However, I've never seen it. I'm not qualified to make a judgment on it. However, I will say this. This is the internet. So being qualified to make a judgment doesn't fucking matter, does it? Anyway, look, here's the thing. I haven't seen the show. I don't want to see the show. I don't think my wife particularly likes it, but she wants to see it. I think she's invested in some way. Actually, the truth is, she's on a treadmill, and I think that it engages her enough to keep her mind off what she's doing, but not so much that she forgets and falls apart on the treadmill. I don't know, whatever way she's doing it. Anyway, it's part of her. It's part of what she's doing right now. So if you hear Emily in Paris, don't think to yourself, Craig, you're missing the episode of Emily in Paris, the one that we all enjoy. I suspect that I won't enjoy it. And I've talked to, there's a friend of mine, a gentleman, someone I'm friendly with. We don't hang out or anything, but we've done a couple of things together, and I'm a great admirer of his work. His name is Robert Smigel, and he's the genius behind many, many things, but you probably know him from Triumph, the insult comedy Dog. He does that. He did a lot of the animations on Saturday Night Live back in the day, and yeah, he directs movies and writes them, and and all that stuff. He's a super clever guy. Anyway, I have him Triumph, the insult comedy Dog. He does that. He did things together, and I'm a great admirer of his work. His name is Robert Smigel, and he's the genius behind many, many things, but you probably know him from Triumph, the insult comedy Dog. He does that. He did a lot of the animations on Saturday Night Live back in the day, and yeah, he directs movies and writes them, and all that stuff. He's a super clever guy. Anyway, I happened to be on the subway with Robert about I don't know, 6 months ago, we were messing about with some thing that may or may not happen, and we were on the subway in New York City, and the subject of Emily in Paris came up. Now, listen, I don't want to start a wave of derision against Robert, but he was not full on in favor of Emily in Paris. I felt like he didn't think it was good. Now, maybe I misread the situation, and you'll have to take it up with Robert if you want to know his exact opinion, but I got the impression he wasn't a fan. And given the fact that Robert's not a fan, and given the way that this show has been advertised on the Netflix, I feel like it's not for me. Is it a bad show? I don't know. I'm not qualified to say. But I will say this. I don't think it's made for me. There's a lot of things that are not made for me. And I think that's good. I mean, I remember once I got into trouble because I said I wasn't a huge fan of the rock band Journey. I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble again for saying exactly that. I'm not a huge fan of the rock band Journey. And a lot of people love the rock band Journey. Now, let me just qualify that by saying it doesn't mean to say that I think the rock band Journey are bad or don't have a place in the world or shouldn't do what they're doing or try to bring them down or anyway hate on them. It's just that it's not for me. And I feel like sometimes we get a little bit tribal. We get a little tribal with all that stuff. Well, you've got to like this to be in my group of people, or you got to like that. And I don't know if I necessarily hold with all of that. But then again, I'm going to be honest with you. I've had trouble fitting in my entire life. I really do. And I'll tell you why. I don't like... Groucho Marx famously said, I would never want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. Or he famously said something like that. I paraphrased, I would never join a club that would have me as a member. Or something like that. Look, I butchered it. But what I'm saying is, the impulse of that, I totally get. However, well, Groucho Marx was part of a troupe. He was part of a gang. The Marx brothers. Well, they were brothers, to be fair. So I suppose that's a family. And I am part of a family. So, but we're not a performing family. Well, a couple of us are. Anyway, look. What I'm saying is, the controversial... I was trying to go back to what I was talking about. Which was, it was a controversial episode last week because I had expressed some doubt about the idea of bagpipes and rock music meshing together well, and I completely retract that doubt. I have been proved wrong. The wave of derision from the internet, in this case, warranted. I feel like I spoke lazily and out of not preparing. Luckily, though, today I very much prepared everything I'm going to say, so that'll be fine. No, I didn't think about it properly. Of course, bagpipes work well as long as the musicians are smart enough to make it work. Anything can work. Look, the French horn has a place in rock and roll if it is used judiciously. I will give you an example. In the classic Tears for Fears track, Sowing the Seeds of Love, there's a French horn. I will be honest with you, I don't expect a French horn to work in rock and roll. But there are certain songs, and I think Sowing the Seeds of Love is one of them, where the French horn is in. It actually has become something of an example for me when I'm describing, when you throw everything at something, I always say, and you can put in a French horn. Tell you what I mean. In 2006, I wrote a novel called Between the Bridge and the River, which is a fictional work, but it has, autobiographical things in it. And that was a kind of Sowing the Seeds of Love type novel. I put everything up because it was the first book I wrote. I put everything into that novel, and I thought, well, I'll never write another Sowing the Seeds of Love. Once you write the first book, then that's that book written, and then you can relax and tell some stories after that. But that's not how it went for me. The reason why I've got onto this is I'm about 150 pages into writing the sequel to that book that I wrote 20 years ago. Because it's 2006 now. And I hope you're enjoying it. 2006. And I think it'll take me about another year in all honesty, to finish the sequel to that book. And I thought, I'll never... But the French horn is back, is what I'm saying. It's another French horn type book. It's another French horn novel. So that's something to look out for. If you liked that book, or if you even have heard of that book, and you would be interested to know what... It's not really a sequel. What it is I took the world, or some of the characters, or the French horn bit. I don't know. I took the vibe. It's got a similar vibe in some of the same characters. Is it the same? Is it a sequel? Nah, I don't think it is. So don't worry if you haven't read the first one. You can read the second one. Well, you can't read it now because it's not finished. I'd like to read it. I'd like to. Peter Cook used to say. Peter Cook was a great British comedian who was very nice to me when I was coming up. And whenever anyone said to Peter, I'm writing a book, if they would say, I'm writing a book, Peter would always say, neither am I, which is very true, if you know anything about writing books. I'm reading a book right now. I'll get on to what the second reason why last week was controversial. I'm reading a book right now, which I'm rather enjoying for a perverse reason. And I'll tell you why. Because the book I'm reading is called, I can't even remember what it's called. It's a Ken Follett, who wrote Pillars of the Earth. And it's a book about the people that built Stonehenge. Stonehenge! It's about the famous circle of stone, temple, Stonehenge, Neolithic, Paleolithic, hydromatic, greased lightning monument in Wiltshire in England. The prehistoric. Prehistoric is such a stupid phrase, isn't it? I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, oh, that's prehistoric, and then history begins at what point? It doesn't make any sense. History goes from the beginning, or whatever you think that is. And then before that, it's prehistory. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, if you know when it was built, then it can't be prehistory. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm reading a Ken Follett book about Stonehenge. I think it's called Circle of Stones, or In the Time of the Stones, or Circle is something like that. It's in the other room where Emily in Paris is playing, so I'm not going in there. And I'm about 150 pages into that, but as a reader as opposed to a writer. And I have to say, it's kind of dull. And I'm enjoying it. I think, that's an interesting situation to be with a book. And by the way, a book's like a long and a papery, well, it used to be tweet. I suppose we now say a long papery Substack or something. Anyway, the book itself I find quite dull. I find the characters quite dull. I find the time quite dull, but I think it probably was quite dull. Around those times. Like, if all you've got to do is kind of manage to stay alive, and then, do you know how long it took to build Stonehenge? Apparently 1,500 years. I'm like, man, and I'm worrying about 20 years to write a follow-up book. That's nothing. Although, I don't think this next book will be as good as Stonehenge. Nah, it won't be. Stonehenge, of course, made famous in the Spinal Tap movie Song Stonehenge, where they played Stonehenge, and it was a tiny little Stonehenge, and hilarity ensued. And then in the follow-up, Elton John, in the follow-up, the sequel, Spinal Tap 2, Elton John sang Stonehenge. So, maybe I'll get him to sing the sequel to my book. I think he's probably busy, and also I don't think he sings books. Anyway, I'm reading this Ken Follett book. It's kind of dull, and yet I'm enjoying it. What is that? Is that good writing? Maybe it's good writing. I don't know what it is. But I'm kind of like, I'll go back there. I feel like it's like hanging around in a coffee shop or something. I can't quite explain it. Is it good writing, or is it just I don't understand it. Because sometimes when you read a book like Moby Dick or something, you're like, oh my God, this is genius. Or Dracula. If you've ever read Dracula, my Lord, what a scary, wonderful, amazing book that is. Or Salman Rushdie's most recent book, or any of his books, actually. I love his writing. So, anyway, the upshot is, I don't know what the upshot is. I was reading this book, and then I'm going to tell you why Well, it's a bit all over the place today. I think I better calm down and have a drink of water. I think it's because it's episode 122 and I'm clearly excited. Anyway, the other reason that last week was a controversialist was because I said it was the taint of the year. It was between Christmas and New Year when I recorded that podcast, and of course that time has passed now, and we're now in the new year, and things are going great. But I said that the taint of the year, I didn't really like it, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And some people felt that I was wrong. People disagreed with me, which you're allowed to do, by the way. This is me, Craig Ferguson. I'm inviting you to come and see my brand new comedy hour. Well, it's about an hour and a half, and I don't have an opener because these guys cost money. But what I'm saying is I'll be on stage for a while. Anyway, come and see me live on the Pants on Fire tour in your region. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll be adding more as the tour continues throughout 2025 and beyond. For a full list of dates, go to thecraigfergusonshow.com. See you on the road, my dears. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Joy Podcast. I am your host, Craig Ferguson, here with my friend, Snakey. Snakey the Snake Mug. That's not his name. Don't ever say that. My name is Craig Ferguson. Welcome to the Joy Podcast, where today, what we're going to do is, what we've been doing recently is taking questions from you, and I will answer your questions in the most honest way or sometimes dishonest way possible. It is, in fact, a reflection of the internet. Sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's just simply not true. That's a tasty beverage, Joe. That's what that is. Definitely true. All right, so with a lot of messages coming in. Now, if you know anything about this podcast, you'll know that sometimes it's just me talking, and sometimes it's you talking to me, and sometimes it's just me talking to someone else in a studio. I don't do the Zooms because I tried doing that and I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the Zoom interviews, so no more of that. So what I will do, it's nothing to do with the people I talk to. It's just, it's very sunny here. I apologize. Well, I'm not apologizing. It's nothing to do with me, but it's sunny here. So I'd have to, if you notice, I'm in the shade. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, it doesn't matter. But if you're watching it, I'm in the shade between a pillar. If I go that way, it's too sunny. And if I go the other way, it's too sunny. So I'm going to probably sit quite still. But if you're only listening to this and not watching it, this will have no interest to you whatsoever. Like many other things, perhaps, in the podcast. But that's the way it is. Anyway, today is a podcast where I'm talking to you and drinking a delicious beverage out of my coiled snake. Good times. All right. This is from Rebecca Njerdis from Sweden. Now, let me just say this. First of all, I don't know if that's how you pronounce Rebecca's second name, Njerdis. I have been to Sweden, though, and I did meet someone called Njerdis, I think. I don't know. They might not be pronouncing their own name properly. It's very hard to tell with a language you don't speak. Let's say that I really liked Sweden when I was there, by the way. I don't know if you've ever been to Sweden. But I went to Sweden and I stayed in Stockholm in a place called the Diplomat Hotel. And it was fantastic. And they do this thing called hygge. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. But what it is towards when you're having breakfast in the morning, towards the end of the year, like, or in the fall and stuff like that, it gets very cold and dark up in Sweden. So they do hygge. I think hygge is a Swedish word for cozy. But I mean, during breakfast, they used to light little candles at breakfast time. I went, oh, so now every day when I'm having breakfast I don't have breakfast every day. Sometimes I just have a cup of coffee. Most times I just have a cup of coffee. But when I have a cup of coffee I have to say, my lady wife, usually if I'm at home, and if I'm not at home, then actually probably still like this. We do it like this. She has a cup of coffee, I have a cup of coffee. And we do usually light a little candle. I'll show you, actually, if you're actually seeing this, not just listening. There's a little candle here. Look, here's a little candle, see? And sometimes when we're having coffee, this room here that gets all the sun. We have a little coffee and a little hangout. Anyway, this is from Rebecca in Sweden. She says, "What is your favorite snow-based activity?" Now, coming from Sweden, I'm not surprised to hear that. And living here in the northeastern United States, we also get snow. Now, I have to say, I grew up in a country where, although it can be cold and damp, the snow is never that great. So snow-based activity for us was mostly slush. It was a slush-based activity. So it would be like making some form of ice ball that you could brutally assault your enemies with. I don't know if that's an activity or sort of war. Anyway, we used to make slush balls and compress them into ice and then throw them at each other. It was very, very painful. Some of the kids got hurt badly. Anyway, the snow that you get here in New England is a lot better. And my wife's family are all big skiers. I didn't try skiing until I was in my... I tried skiing once in Scotland when I was a kid, when I was about 15 or 16. And I hated it. And I thought, why does anyone do this? It's so awful. We just kept falling over all the time, and it was damp and wet and hard and squishy. And then I went on a skiing trip when I was in California. My wife's family are all big skiers, and she wanted to go to Mammoth. So we went up to Mammoth when our oldest was young. And I went skiing up there, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I did love it. So I do like skiing. I don't like the snowboarding. I took some lessons in that once when I was doing a comedy show in Aspen, and this guy gave me snowboard lessons. I didn't like it. I didn't like having a board tied to my feet, and I kept falling my ass all the time. I suppose that clears up after you've learned a bit. I don't know, but it really hurt. So much so that I was like, I can't take any more of this. And so I do quite like skiing. But that being said, I'm not very good at it, and I feel like I'm reaching a point in my life now where if I hurt myself, it might be bad, because, you know, I've got my bones and organs are all a bit more vintage than they used to be. One of the things that happens as you get older, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it takes longer to heal. I had a motorcycle accident once when I was 40 years old, and I was on this motorcycle in a hand accident. I broke 3 ribs in my collarbone, and it was very painful, and it took months to heal. But I suspect if it happened to me now, it would be even longer, because, you know, all my old organs and skin and all that, it's all old. So it feels like I actually, if you're unaware, if you're young and you don't know what it feels like to be olding. If you're young and you don't know what it feels like to be old, imagine you've had a motorcycle accident. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're recovering from a motorcycle accident all the time. Actually, you know what it feels like? I feel like getting older is like, I stopped, everybody knows this, I stopped drinking when I was in my late 20s, when I was 29. And, you know, so I haven't had a hangover in a long time. But nowadays, I wake up with, it feels like I've got a hangover. And I haven't had anything to drink for 30-something years. But I still wake up with kind of a hangover, because that's just what happens as you get older. You kind of wake up with a hangover. So there you are, young people. If you don't know what it's like getting old, imagine you had a motorcycle crash when you were drunk, and suddenly you're 60. Although some people are in great shape. I'm not in bad shape. I just, it feels bad when I wake up in the morning. So my favorite snow-based activity, to be honest, Rebecca, is probably hygge. Hygge, which is the sitting down and being cozy indoors, is probably my favorite snow-based activity. Yes, I think that's right. This is from Lisa B in Dallas, Texas. I don't know if Lisa is a B, or she's trying to remain anonymous, which is Lisa B, or maybe is there a singer called Lisa B? Maybe it's the singer Lisa B. I don't know. There might be a singer called Lisa B. I'm not aware. Lisa says, does Scotland take credit for Scotch tape? If not, they should. Well, I think they probably could. I don't know. I'm not in charge of what Scotland does.
or takes credit for. But I feel Scotch tape is called Scotch tape because there's a little bit of tartan on the box. I think that's it. I mean, maybe Scotch tape is from Scotland. I bet you there's somebody on the internet who knows. I bet you there's somebody on the. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you're just listening to this will make no sense to you, but I've just noticed that when drinking right-handedly from the snake cup, the snake's face bites you in your face. That's probably why I always drink using my left hand, because the snake doesn't bite you. So there's a tip for you. If you have a snake cup, like the old one I used to have late night, don't drink with your right hand. Because if you drink it with your right hand, the snake's going to bite you in the face. Does Scotland take credit for Scotch tape? I don't think it was invented in Scotland. It might have been, and the internet will tell you. The internet will tell you, because the internet is full of the information. It's the information superhighway. Richard from Merrimack, New Hampshire. I know where that is. It's not too far from here, actually. Richard from Merrimack, New Hampshire says, Craig, I saw you were in the Ken Burns The American Revolution documentary. I examined. How did you get involved in it? Did you have to up your Scottish accent since you're American now and you only have a hint of one? Well, yeah. How I got involved in it was, if you hear from Ken Burns, like if you hear Ken Burns would like you to do a voice in the documentary. I mean, I got a phone call saying Ken Burns wants you to do a voice. It's kind of like a summons. Do you know what I mean? Ken Burns is kind of like I feel like he's an institution. It's kind of like saying, you have to be, it's like jury duty a little bit. He's like, yeah, you better go. Ken Burns wants you. So you go. And they're very nice. And I did some voices in it. I did the voice of John Paul Jones, who was a Scotsman that was the father of the American Navy, as I'm sure you all know because you're Americans, and the Scottish people will know this too. He was a sailor. You want a sailor to be, in charge of the Navy. You don't want to get put in the hands of a computer tech guy. We probably got a lot of them around in 76. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, he was qualified to do it. How did I get involved? Well, they asked me, did I have to dampen down my accent? Now, it's interesting that, because I have had Scottish people tell me that I don't have an accent anymore. And that I sound, so you sound like a Yankee, you sound like a Yankee, by the way, in Scotland just means anyone from America. It doesn't mean people from around here in New England. There's plenty of Yankees around here. But Yankee means any American. I think it's from the Second World War when Yankee meant that to the British people. Anyway, the Yanks are coming and all that stuff. Anyway, the little thing there. So Scottish people say, you sound like American. You're Scottish when it suits you. That's another one. Scottish when it suits you. I'm like, wow. Okay, I guess. Or I suppose. It changes. I've noticed that when I'm talking to Scottish people, I did say this, you sound when I'm talking to Scottish people, I sound much more Scottish. And when I'm talking to American people, I sound much more American. Now, I have a theory about this, which is I like to be understood. So I don't like to repeat myself over and over again. So I've learned, I'm not conscious of doing this, but I have learned probably over the years that if I, adapt my accent sufficiently, then no, and I'm not, again, I swear, I'm not conscious of doing it. I don't think about doing it, but it probably just happens that I end up talking, changing my accent sufficiently so that I don't have to repeat myself and stuff like that. But I still think a lot of Americans would consider me having more than just a hint of an accent. But I don't know. It depends. Also, my job is in large part is to make myself understood. So I think it's important that I make myself understood. Did I have to change my accent when I did the Ken Burns documentary? Do you know, I think I did a little bit. I think I leaned into it a
God's sake, man, be a professional.
What's the biggest risk you ever took?
Professionally?
Ratings never really told the full story here.
But there's a lot of embarrassing stuff in my past.
Sure, he needed enough to justify a time slot, keep a crew employed,
I want each of you to look into your heart, dig into your souls, to embrace this moment.
and prevent CBS from pulling the plug.
When your show was unfortunately canceled, you said that you were going to pieces.
But chasing ratings was never his mission.
Hi, I'm Craig Ferguson. I'm the new host of The Late Late Show.
You knew this wasn't going to be another polished, mass-produced, advertisement-laced lullaby for insomniacs. This was going to be something different.
Careful, Icarus.
A pointer? Yeah. I made myself laugh. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Okay, we have a game that we like to play here. What is it called, Jeff?
It's called Guess My Weight.
It might be weird, it might fall flat, but it was going to be real. That's the word you keep coming back to with Craig Ferguson.
Celebrity or politician you wouldn't have on your radio show?
Yeah. I mean, celebrities, fine. I mean, they are who they are. Politicians, they get trained by professionals who keep them on message. You can't have a conversation with them. It's like talking to a robot. They're horrible.
He wasn't trying to be the smartest guy in the room, or the kindest, or the edgiest. He was just trying to be himself, without filtering that through what a late night host was supposed to be.
I'm so creepy and everything. I'm like...
His style was absurdist, conversational, and kind of reckless.
You get in there, suck and blow, and if you do it right, we'll get you a prize. Come on.
In a way that made the whole thing feel alive, like anything could happen.
Dear Craig and Robin, my boyfriend and I made a special tape together. Uh-oh. But we broke up a few weeks ago. How do I get it back? Send it here. Send it.
Craig's comedy didn't beg for approval. It wasn't sculpted to please sponsors or algorithm-fed audiences. In fact, it often seemed designed to alienate people who expected structure.
This show is so bad, whenever anything remotely amusing comes along, people clap with relief.
If you were in on the joke, great. If not, even better. That gave him permission to swerve into philosophical rants, Scottish folktales, or complete nonsense involving a talking horse and a robot skeleton.
My henchman is a robot skeleton.
That is correct, Craig.
I also have a horse which is learning Japanese. He might even be turning Japanese. I really think so.
It was late night in the shape of his brain, not a brand deck. You could almost say he weaponized awkwardness.
We're out of time. Wanna have an awkward pause?
Yes.
While most hosts feared dead air like a heart monitor going flat, Craig let it sit. He leaned into it, sat in silence, and somewhere in that awkward pause, something honest always crept through.
Hey, you're flirting with my appliance.
Take me home and stuff me.
Most hosts rushed to the next cue. Craig would raise an eyebrow, let the tension breathe, and then cut through it with something so unexpected that the audience didn't just laugh, they snapped out of their autopilot.
Did you just act surprised there when I cussed? Which tells me you have no idea which show you have come to.
Every other host sticks to the rails, but Craig's cold opens had no rules.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's a joke.
Sometimes they weren't even jokes, they were moods, ramblings, rejections of the format itself, and somehow that made them feel more truthful than any Type 5 stand-up monologue ever could.
I love this joke. If you want nothing.
He'd mock the idea of setup and punchline. He'd act out scenes with sock puppets. He'd rip up his pre-written intros because they didn't feel right in the moment. And the beauty of it all, it wasn't chaos for the sake of being zany or quirky. There was a rhythm to it.
Clap! Clap! Clap or I'll be fired!
A strange kind of jazz, loose and unpredictable, but never sloppy. Jeff Peterson, his gay animatronic skeleton sidekick, wasn't just a novelty, he was a counterbalance.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Let's make out.
A partner in crime who could push back, crack wise, or sometimes just stare at Craig in dead silence, forcing him to improvise out of awkwardness.
I became familiar with you from watching the show.
I'm not really here, man.
Hey, Mike. Tell me about the one-man show. What happens in the one-man show?
It shouldn't have worked. On paper, none of it made sense. A Scottish former punk drummer talking to himself and a robot in front of a curtain. That's not a show, that's a fever dream.
I'm frightened.
But that's exactly why it worked, because unlike every other show that felt pre-packaged and test-screened into oblivion, this felt like it had a pulse.
Sounds like a real joke.
It was like a real joke, wasn't it? Yeah.
The man didn't hide from his darkness.
I speak for myself. There's speculation. There's always speculation if you're on television about somebody's behind it, or the corporation, the production people. There's not. This is me.
You'd be laughing about a weird bit with Kristen Bell one moment, and the next he'd shift into a quiet monologue about addiction.
I'm not an
I'm going to stand here. I'm going to stand here until you stop. Now, Mother told me there'd be nights like this. Now, things will get sillier before the year is out. I have a right load of raven loonies for you tonight. A return visit from Baron Backtalk, the Dean of the University of Reversity, David Fuhrer. Jules Holland and his grand band will be boogieing on down. But first, a yo-yo. The man who has been up and down and in and out of pop more often than a French farce. From window cleaner to megastar. From megastar to bankruptcy, with a lot of booze and boisterousness in between. There's no holding him down. He's made more comebacks than Sinatra. With frontiers of style, the leader of the pack, Gary Glitter!
Just look at here. Oh, yeah. Now listen. We're the FOS. We don't take no second best. You know what you're missing. Now you're gonna listen. I know that I ain't no fool, cause I know I'm the one who's cool. Living on the frontier of style. Ha! No one's gonna tell me right what I am gonna do tonight. If you wanna fight me, that would just excite me. Whatever else you say, they're never gonna take away. Living on the frontier of style. Living on the frontier. Yeah! On the frontier. To know the lost land.
Toweling down there for you from one of our loveliest makeup ladies.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Pippa, her name is.
Yeah. You don't often that. It's not a courtesy we extend to most. We thought we'd better do it for the leader.
What a lovely audience you've got tonight.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Most of them appear to be related to you. So you're on the road again.
Yeah.
And that's the new song. Yeah.
This is the best tour.
How many comeback tours have you done?
This is the 1,000,001, I think. I'm trying to get in the Guinness Book of Records for the many comebacks.
And
But
it's
it's
been successful.
extraordinary.
It's been great, hasn't it?
Well, touch wood. I mean, we've still got the NEC in Birmingham to do, which is the biggest audience I've played to, other than playing with George Michael a couple of years ago at Wembley Stadium.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, I think he's growing old like the rest of you.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. There's a question in there somewhere about your age, but we're not going to draw it up because you never really got past 25, did you?
No, it's 27, I think. I'm trying to hang on in.
How do you keep going? I mean, I'm not saying that you're that old that you can't keep going, but
I'll just slip this off, Terry, if I may.
Of course.
Could you just have a look at the back of this? It's rather special, you know.
Of course it is. Well, no one would ever accuse you of understatement, would they? Yeah.
No.
But you must be as fit as a flea, because we have a picture of you, if you don't mind it shown, from a little earlier. Now, with the best will, you look a bit like me there, about 4 chins. Now, tell me, how have you lost so much weight? How do you keep fit?
I had a drinks problem for about 30 years, in fact. And a year and a half ago, I stopped drinking completely. And anybody watching, and if you have more than 2 or 3 drinks, right, try going without. It's fantastic. I've done a year and a half without drinking. I go 5 miles running every day. And it's, you know, fitness is an incredible buzz. It's much better than all that and all the other bits and pieces that
and
you
cheaper
try.
as well.
Oh, yeah. And safer, too.
Yeah, you tried it all, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done a lot. I mean, I really, I think, I don't know how. Sometimes, how do you get through to a friend who does actually drink rather a lot? I mean, nobody could get through to me. It took them years to get through to me.
Nobody can get through to anybody, can they?
No,
I mean, you're saying
that's
now,
right.
give up drinking, you lose weight, you feel better. But until people actually make the decision themselves to do it, that's it,
most important.
So what was the changing point for you?
Well, the changing point for me was that I lost all my friends. My business was going psh, like that. You couldn't get me on the telephone. Nobody could make records with me. I stopped writing songs. I just stopped living, really. I thought I was living great in this wonderful bottle, you know. And then I lost my girlfriend, and that really psh, hit home. So I...
How much used to drink? What
I used to
would
start
in an
with
average day?
a bottle of tequila in the morning for breakfast, right? And that would sort of stop the shake. I mean, I was a serious drinker, and it's very sad But, you know, I mean, if I've got any message for anybody out there, and I mean, I feel a bit like a gladiator having gone through it all, you know. This Christmas, just be careful. I've lost my driving license, all those things. Don't do it. It's stupid, you know. Just enjoy yourself. Get your glass of fizzy water. It's fine.
Do you take a drink at all? Can you take a drink?
No.
Would you rather not?
Daren't.
You're afraid?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. No.
And you feel better about
I feel great, actually.
You actually were at the top. You had the big mansion in Sussex, wasn't it? And you had the Rolls Royce and everything. And then suddenly you were bankrupt. I mean, what happened to all the money you were making? Where did it go?
Too many parties. I mean, I had straight out of the Elvis Presley handbook of pop stars, you know, you had to have the mansion and the Rolls Royce and all this stuff. And, you know, let's face it, if you win the football pools, which is rather like it, I suddenly had millions of pounds. And I had 10 bedrooms to fill, and I thought, well, okay, we just get on and have a party time the whole time. And it just,
And when you
it was good, though. I mean, believe you me, I had a great time. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but I mean,
any young man would want to do that, you know. But this is like, I'm going through another chapter. I think most people go through all these different things, don't they?
Well, yeah, if they have the money, or if they haven't got the sense.
That's true.
Because
true.
Really, if you
had
it to live back again, you wouldn't have done that.
No, I think I was being a bit irresponsible, really, because I now feel that, you know, especially on this tour, for example, going out there straight every night, I'm really enjoying seeing those people. And I realise how they come through the snow and the frost and the fog and everything. They spend the money, they come there, you know, and we get all sorts of people, Russians as well, you know, all sorts of, I mean, right across the board, punks, skinheads, everything. And they're sitting there and they spend all that money. And that money comes to me, right? Then, of course, I have it for about 2 seconds and it goes to the tax man. But I mean, you know, the responsibility of holding on to those people's money and letting me do all these lovely things and have, you know, lots of glittery clothes.
Some of them out there are wearing your clothes, aren't they? I mean, not.
Hello! Oh, look, they're out. Look at this. Incredible. Can you turn around and have a look? Hello! Oh, look, they're out.
Some of them out there are wearing your clothes, aren't they? I mean, not.
Hello! Oh, look, they're out. Look at this. Incredible. Can you turn around and have a look at that?
Yeah, well, no.
Where's their camera up there? Hey! Oh! What about... Terry, can I... Look at that! Woo! Can we get the... Because Christmas starts here. Can we get the audience to sing a bit of Come On, Come On, you know, to start... Come on, come on! Come on, come on! Come on, come on, come on! Merry Christmas, Terry Wogan. How about that?
Thank you. Wonderful, guys. A moment of spontaneity.
Thank you.
And actually... Actually, they are wearing some of your clothes because when you went bankrupt, they took your clothes away, didn't they?
Yeah.
They took everything.
Yeah. But I mean, it's gone back to the... As Liberace once said, it's gone, you know, they paid for them, why shouldn't they be wearing them? It's good. It's gone back to them.
If you were starting now, would you still do the same act or would you be a bros?
Bros? What's that? It's a clothes shop, isn't it? Yeah. No, I think Bros are actually very, very good. The Bros are just going through what we went through from 72 to 76. I just hope that they're around to enjoy it like I am in the 80s and hopefully the 90s.
You do it.
What, get young men afraid to talk to young women?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's hard. It's hard to be a young man that talks to young women. It's frightening. Look, I think we can all agree on something, right? Like.
Extremely funny comedian. He's at the Great Venetian Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, February the 1st and 2nd, and then the 22nd and 23rd. He also stars in Last Man Standing, which airs Friday nights on ABC. Take a look at this.
Hey, I picked up a duck whistle downstairs. You want to see a cool...
Tim Allen, everybody, Tim Allen. Tim Allen, everybody, Tim Allen.
How lovely to see you again.
Good to see you.
You look great. I like this jacket. You're making money then.
It's not mine.
Wow. That's fantastic.
No,
it's like one of them.
It really is. I'm taping Hollywood, you know, the other CBS Radford, which is on the other side of the hill. If you're not from here, it's on the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
Even if you are from here, or even you're not from here, it's still on the other side of the hill. Anyway, we rehearsed today, and they
give you this jacket.
Well, give. You know this business.
To see how the ratings are, and then if you can keep, maybe you can keep the jacket. It's a nice jacket though. It's like one of those lazy boys, you know, that you get with a.
No, Craig, it's not. No, that's a chair. It had nothing to do with that.
It's like a chair. Like
it's not.
If I had money, I would get a chair that was covered in a fabric like that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, got that.
Yeah.
You moved. This used to be in a basement. Now you got a real studio.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a real studio, but this is the studio that was built for Pat Sajak's late night show.
That's It's glad that you bring that up.
Yeah, I know.
And also, was Politically Incorrect was here, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was here. Were you on that show? Yeah, I was on that show a couple of times. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. That's when he was a little softer. Bill was a little quieter guy.
Yeah, he was quieter then. Now he's out of control.
Yeah, well, I don't know what.
He was never that soft, Bill. Yeah,
well, you know what I mean? He was a little more balanced. Not him personally.
He's always been unbalanced. Yeah, he can say it, but now he's on cable. He can say what you like. You can't say what you like on network television.
You can think about it.
You can think about it, but you start expressing your opinion. You're, ay caramba!
Whoa! What he meant, I said that during the. How did that happen? What just happened?
I don't know. I just wanted to cuss. That's why I led us into it. Yeah.
I said that on Santa Claus 2. I did that in front of the children. I dressed as Santa Claus. I was. It's a long time ago. So I was a different guy, and the Disney people told the children. I said,
Lingonberry. Is that a real word?
It's a Swedish word, means lunch. Hey, Santa!
Really?
No.
Santa wants lunch. It's Swedish.
Oh, I got so mad at children. I mean, what was I thinking? I hate children.
No, come on, you don't. No, you don't. He doesn't mean it.
I don't like mine that much.
No, come on. I haven't met your kids, but I'm sure they're great. My kids, yours are fantastic, though.
They're little.
I've got a little one, right? You got a little one?
I have a little 3.5-year-old.
You see a lot of Yo Gabba Gabba right now?
No, we don't let them watch TV.
What is... Well, you're crazy?
We read books.
Oh, is that... I guess that's what you do in Al-Qaeda.
Wow! It could be. Actually, we're Taliban. We're a little...
Yeah, a little...
We're a little left of...
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Taliban would be a little left of that, wouldn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know enough about it. I know none of it's good for us. None of it.
No, they don't like this. They like this show.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I like Ferguson. Very funny.
They love it. Well, what's it? Al Gore has made it possible now for Al Jazeera. They moved in, didn't
That's right. They bought Current TV. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Al Jazeera are anything to do with the Taliban, no.
Well, I make that adjustment for comedy purposes.
I see.
Like the famous Otto and George says, I exaggerate to clarify.
I see.
All right. This is kind of that moment of silence that you had.
Yeah, no. Oh, a quiet time.
Which is one of the better parts of the show.
You want to do one?
Just take. It's very difficult for me to shut up.
Come on. Let's try it. Let's try a little quiet time.
I don't like this guy though.
Come on, guy. Come on. Satnam.
Really. Very hard for me.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
All right, that's enough. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
I actually got a backache from that.
Really?
I'm not.
No, I tell you, your back is for motorcycles. You're still riding motorcycles, aren't you?
I don't know what you just said.
Yes, you do.
No, you said still ride motorcycles?
Yeah, still riding motorcycles. Like you continue to ride motorcycles in the face of all the evidence.
You've been here long enough. Cut the accent, all right? You're from here. It's not really helping with the ratings. Just cut it.
He was riding the motorcycles. Yeah. I seen you riding the motorcycles. You're riding it around.
I tried a hybrid. Not an electric thing. I tried to get it's called a Daviel. It's a Ducati, kind of half sport bike, half cruiser.
And you wear a sundress on it or something?
Whoa! How do you say that? A little off-the-shoulder thing, yes. And a nice Dolly Parton hat. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. That's what all of us motorcycle guys trying to get a little softer, Craig.
A Dolly Parton hat? I never even heard of a Dolly
I don't
Parton
know what
hat.
that meant. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go to the boobs right away. That
Right.
seemed cheap, so I meant, what was it, a mini pearl? Hats-
Oh, a mini pearl hat, yeah.
With the, wait a minute, I have one. You have a hat? Oh, I got a hat.
Oh, all right. Yours now, buddy.
It's, oh boy, A.B. Sue you.
No, it's all right. Was that the Home Improvement was on ABC, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, that was a good show, that show.
Yeah, I just rebooted 3 girls instead of 3 boys. That was. You saw a trailer with Al.
Yeah, no, it's like everybody's the same. It's the same. It's not the same show.
No, just try to spit it out. It's
All
not
right.
the same.
All right.
It's not the same at all. There's about 300 people watching. Before we could tell it's not the same venue anymore. There's so many things on TV.
I know. It's totally different.
It's
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
You have another season now, the cable season. With
That's a season? They have a cable season?
Slow down for a second.
I don't understand your accent.
When you get to this part of the season, I don't know when this airs. God knows it's probably airing on Mars sometime, right? Because you tape out of sequence, you say bad words.
We're live right now.
Except for that guy. There's one guy on the edge. No, but now, like, Homeland is on, Justified, you get the second season of, like, because the cable stuff kind of coming on.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You really don't.
Hey, do you still have commercials on ABC?
Commercials?
Yeah.
Is that what?
You still have the commercials on ABC there?
Oh, advertisements.
Yeah, do you have those?
Yes.
Yeah, we still got them too. Here they come. We'll be right back. All right. I go to the what do you call it? The Comedy Works.
All right.
Comedy Works in downtown Denver.
Huh?
We were just talking.
Where'd they come from?
Oh, hey.
Whoa.
They were enjoying the commercials.
Advertisements.
They were advertisements for boner pills. That's what's on at this time of night, you know.
Boner
pills?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, like you never heard of them, Tim Allen.
This is a funny story. You'll be the judge. My family name, I hate even going there, but it's Dick, D-I-C-K. Less like it sounds, but it didn't always mean what you people think. It's
a Scottish name.
It is a Scottish name.
I know, I've heard of Dick.
This is how it starts. My mother was a Dick. My whole family are Dick. I've heard this. So we thought we were German. So I take my family to Germany to find the Dick, because it's Dick Knives or some companies in Germany.
You thought you were German?
Well, my uncle said...
Well, what happened? You kept annexing the neighbor's backyard or something?
However it worked out, it's some genealogists, that's what they're called. They searched it out, and they went Baltimore or someplace else, went to Germany.
Right.
And it turned out it was Dickman or Dixon. They changed their names. And somebody in the middle of all this from Munich goes, that's not German, that's Scottish. So we're all in, Munich, so we had to eat sausage and go home.
Right.
It turns out it is a Scottish.
Yeah, no, it's a Scottish name. I was a lot. Haggis, where I grew up.
I'm sure there were. You can't say it without this gag.